Hello, and welcome again to my show, Searching for Integrity. My name really is John Smith, and I'm searching for people with integrity. Why? Because our country suffers from IDD, Integrity Deficit Disorder. Today, we have a guest regarding our topic of poems and PTSD. Mike Becker.
How you doing, John?
Good. Glad to see you, Mike.
Good to see you too. Yes, sir.
We were getting beat up by all the different sound areas. Now we got
Yes, we were.
it smoothed out, I guess. Mike Becker is an interesting guy. He's here, and people can see him well because I can see you well. And Mike and I actually bumped into each other in a hardware store about 10 days ago. And he began to tell me about his military. And we both agreed of having been there, Vietnam. And Mike, has been writing poetry for a long time. And it sounds good to me that poetry is going to have a direct bearing on his day, his hopes. And I feel the same way. Mike, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm listening to you.
Okay.
It's a very, very poignant point that you did make. I just brought all my poems here today, but I'm going to read you one, and possibly two, because the one I have, I wrote in 1968 when I came back from Vietnam, and I just found it the other day. And it's dedicated to all those people up to this 2022. Very, very deeply touched by when I wrote it. Do you want me to read that one first?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's begin with that one.
This is called A Memory. So remember, I was only 21 when I came home. To all those Americans who died in this useless war, I wrote, we live with our memories of you, as I know. You can hear us, but you know that we love and will never forget you, ever. And that was to all my fellow vets. That was like the first poem I ever wrote.
Okay, Mike.
Now, as we advance into the 2022, 2023 era, I progressively, as we all get older, I decided to write about my PTSD extreme poems, and they're all relative to what I'm feeling in remorse and regret in the war. And it's something that I live with every day. So I figured I'd write it out on paper and get my feelings out there. Maybe some people can relate to it.
Well, that's a good thing to do, Mike.
Thank you.
One thing that not only did we discover in the hardware store that we were both in Nam, and we both suffer from PTSD. So we got to thinking about it and to see, we ought to do something about it. So maybe we'll like what we're doing now, and we'll just see how that is. What's your next poem you're looking at?
Well, I wrote something called ABCs, and that's the title I called it as. And it goes something like this. 3 simple letters. Really? Always try to be, your best you can be. Always see others as they are. Respect them. I can't. It's like it has to be, says the old vet. Complexity and composure. These words grab my mind, twist my thoughts, take away my dreams. These words shadow me, leaving me in the dark. These words, complexity, that cause concern. Composure complicates caring. I always read the old vet with my ABCs of life itself. That was something I really, really thought deep about. Composure and complexity. How difficult it is to walk in these steps. A lot of people do it and think about other things.
Right.
Reflect on
Right.
things.
Well, it all hits us from time to time, and you never know when it's coming, and you never know when it's going to leave. I've experienced that, and I've talked to a lot of other vets who has the same foyer, I guess, as an entry spot.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to hear your next poem. What was the name of the last one?
Thank you. As I'm going on and getting older, I find I'm looking to reach out to someone to help me in these concerning times. That's what we're all going through right now. And so I wrote one called Crossfire, and I made it specifically how I really feel at this point. Crossfire is like an anomaly. Where are we going? Are we going straight? Are we going across the wrong way? Are we crossing over our own disposition? So it goes something like this. The old vet starts another poem or verse. Down and up, my feelings are as they continue. Happy or sad, my days are always in the crossfire. Monday or Friday, no difference, I inquire. Please justify my existence. My Savior, please reach out for me. My Savior, I ask for your forgiveness. My days are numbered. My Savior, please rescue me from this cross and fire. In other words, I'm comparing him to go with him in this cross.
Yeah.
That was very touching when I started writing that. I just had to figure the ending.
Well, as you said, there's a matter of something called the cross. And you spoke earlier about your Savior.
Yes.
And having him come into your life in probably an early stage.
Yes.
You've maintained it all the way through. So that's a good thing that you can tell others, and they'll use that. They'll find strength listening to that, I believe. Let's have another one.
Okay. We have one here that, let's see. This is called Portrait of a Loner. Okay, as the old vet struggled another day with remorse and regret, guilt. When at home, he watched his only YouTube version of veteran testimonials, which I did in New York, reliving his crazy, unforgettable times over and over, watching his video a lot. He's listening and looking for the unescapable promise not there. So where is the elusive answer? Why am I here? How can I be sure you're better? Remember the inescapable answer? These questions are above. Will the old vet ever know? He lives in a fantasy world. Every day, he needs so much help. To cure this everlasting false hope, to his prominent remorse, regrets, and regret, this video speaks of this truly over and over. And back in New York, I had done a video in one of our high schools. And I opened up a newspaper called the Newsday. That's a New York paper. All vets, please come if you want to talk about your service. I said, let me try it. And here it is. I did a 40-minute video in New York. It's still on YouTube. That's 163 hits. and what you did, why did you do it, and all that stuff. And it's actually going to be in the Library of Congress. That's where they take our videos and they put them in the Library of Congress. I was amazed that they did that. And I'm proud of that. That's still on YouTube.
That's good. YouTube is new to me, so I'm learning all about it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. My guy Mike helped me with that,
Oh,
I'm glad that he suggested that. It's it's allowed my thoughts to be soaked up by a lot of other people, and the books and so forth that I'm doing and trying to anyway.
okay.
Let's have
That
another
is my
one.
aim.
Okay.
That is my answer. That is my aim. A lot of people that are out there will associate not only in our PTSD just from the war, it's from actual life. They all have these problems. This is one that I call patterns are getting clearer. So it goes, can't sleep. There's too much on my mind. Sounds, buzzing, visions, complete collapse of reality. Yes, no, leave, go, can't decide. I feel that I'm not here. I should have left years and years ago. What is it, my Savior? What more do I have to do to be here? Will you allow me into your world? As the old vet contemplated. Same old every day. Hide your reality. You can't hide your despair. Hi, I would say to a perfect stranger. Yes, I know. You heard this all before. But remember, I did this. Did you? What, is it not enough? Or is it? See me now, or I'll never be myself again. Nightmares haunt me. Again, that is prototypical of visions that I see. I don't remember a lot of my years that I was in now, but the things I do remember are like, can we talk about it?
Sure.
Grenade didn't go off next to me, something that haunts me a lot. Coming home on the plane, this one seat was empty. Who was that guy? You just don't know these things. And again, when you're 21, you're glad to be out of there. It's something that was a world that I can never remember again, except for the certain visions that when I was there. So when I came home, I didn't really get help. I didn't get help because I didn't really bother me except when I wrote that one poem. As I moved out here, as you know, out this beautiful state, I got comfortable with the people that I'm surrounded with because we all have the same ideas. Like I met you.
Right.
And then then I got help.
Right.
PTSD help. And all those people out there, there's somebody out there to help you. That's for sure. Just got to find the right locations, the right people. And that's what they're doing right now. They're helping me out quite a bit. And this writing is helping me out a lot too. I'm looking at the same thing, John, with the book like you're doing. Just thinking that would be perfect. Just people have a nice handbook, something they could follow by. What do you think?
I think it's great. That's something else that will get Mac involved.
Okay.
The little books, first little books. I call them little books. They're only about 6 inches by 4 inches, maybe 60 pages in it.
That's perfect.
But it gives you something that sometimes if you need something, some advice, it's there on the paper. It's there in the book. And I'm looking forward to that, having looked at it and other people.
I like the fact that when we met, there was a common ground of settlement, if you will. I didn't know you. People know this. We just met 10 days ago. And I was very comfortable straight away. And I knew there was something that we were going to click on. And then when I read those two pieces, it came out perfect in it. It's amazing how things work. Right? And from then on, it's been the last 10 days, I've been thinking about doing this podcast. This is kind of new to me, guys. But it's enjoyable because you get to relieve a lot of feelings that you have inside that you can't just talk to perfect strangers. But we're releasing what we feel, John and I, and working as a team here. Yeah, I have a series of 50 poems, but I'm going to work on something else besides that, John. And I'm going to try to work on something I'll tell you later about prototypical beings or something like that. Maybe birds, which is my favorite, and try to associate that with some kind of personalities. We all have our own different personalities. And if so many stories are out there, that can be happy stories too. And that's what I'm looking forward to do.
Well, I think I told you this before we started this session.
Yes, sir.
That I had a number of books planned in little books format. And there are a lot of subjects that people are described as in being involved with it and not getting much help with it. And my embracing the abyss is going to turn into each of these little books are going to be embracing your abyss for forgiveness, for grief.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Hope, anger. All these things are here that people want to see. They want to hear it, they want to see it, and they want to pass it on to others.
Okay.
It's a way to do it and how to do it. And we've come across this matter that I think it's going to make some people happy. Let me ask you about this. How do you rate the VA?
How would I rate it?
Yeah, I think the highest.
Oh yeah, I've had no problems with them at all.
Yeah,
they really take us into. They love us basically, and they respect us. I'm working with somebody who won't mention names up in Phoenix, and as soon as I call him up, BSO up there, he said, "Thank you for your service. We're going to do the best we can. We're trying to checking everything out." So they're on top of it, and they try to help you. They put you in the right direction. If you have problems with your PTSD, like I have, they look for upper values or to raise your rates. They'll show you how you can do that if you want to put in it's called upper value. In other words, you want more on your PTSD. And that's what I'm doing right now. But I rate it high with it. I have no problems.
Right. Yeah, I think highly of the people at the VA, and that's good. That's good. It's good for a lot of GIs. Let's take a couple more poets.
Okay, sir.
Poems, please.
One more. Let's see what I got here. Okay, this is called Parents, Parents, Where? The cold outside warms me inside as I'm sitting in a quiet house. The quietness is loud. The silence alone. His recollection. He has no dad. He understands. Just his thoughts. Suitable phrases. Hints of abjection. Pictures of rejection. He understands. He has no mom. He understands. Just his thoughts. Her smiles. Hands to hold. Pictures of protection. hints of love and affection he misses. But wait, the old vet ponders in his tears. I know where they are. With our Savior, he'll always understand. Again, I'm putting in my Savior in the last couple of verses. As you get on in the years, we really don't want to talk about that, but you understand why you are here is one of the hardest things to recollect. Between 19 all the way up to 50, 60 and beyond, what happened all that time? So as your steps get slower, I write it in one of my phrases, and your wrinkles on your face get larger, your hair gets grayer. He's waiting for us. We're still here to do his bidding. And I believe in that very heartily. That's why we met, I think, to talk about this.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
I miss my parents, and that basically was that what it was about, the why. My father was a true veteran in World War II in Iwo Jima as a Marine, Mount Suribachi. I didn't know this. My sister told me. I know he was in Solomon Islands in Guadalcanal, but Iwo Jima. So when I got home from Vietnam, son, you didn't go to war. Now I know why he meant that. That's in one of my books, one of my stories. Tough man, raised a tough family. He knew exactly what he was doing. And one of the things I said in that video that I did in New York should always stay with me. This lady asked me in the interview, what would you like to say to the people outside? What kind of advice would you give them? And I said, you know what? I thought it right off the top of my head. Every child should have both hands held to this world, whether it's a mother, father, guardian, and an uncle. Walk straight in this world, see what it's all about. They have to have that calming issue, still have to be directed the right way. And she said that was pretty good. And they put that on the tape.
Yeah. Well said, Mike.
Thank you.
Said. Let's have an idea of when we get the little books and they are being published. I think that most authors, a lot of new authors, immediately look to Amazon. And I've had many conversations with other authors and a lot of reviews that I get from people looking at other books. You know, I interview people the last couple of years, well over 200 people.
Wow.
And that's all done with pretty much with Amazon. One of the things that I want to do is to introduce you to my listeners. And I always thank my listeners that they tune in to Searching for Integrity. I'm glad you were able to spend time with us today, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll have more times on these. I guess I should say now, basically, thanks a lot, listeners. So long and happy trails to all.